Welcome to a brand new episode of the Fish Tank Pod. My name is Byron. I will be your host. I am here with my boy Mark and my boy Mark. This is going to be extremely difficult, so we'll go with Soccer Mark here for the man, the myth, the legend, F9 Mark, and then we'll go with Baseball Mark here with our baseball guru and connoisseur, Mark with a K and Mark with a C. How you boys doing today? Baseball Mark first.
I'm doing good. Pretty good.
All right. What about you, Mr. Soccer Mark?
Coming off our False Nine podcast, I'm doing good, man. Watching the Panthers game, so taking double fist here and handle the business.
All right, so we'll jump right into it. This is the week of April 28th through May 4th. Unfortunately, the Marlins had their off day on Thursday, which is today. We recorded this the night before, Wednesday. So we won't talk about the Dodgers series at home just yet. We'll talk about the Dodgers series in LA and the A series in Sacramento. So Marlins go to the West Coast.
They play the A's here.
Yeah, the A's were playing here at home.
You lost.
Oh, it was the week before that we played the A's. No, we played Seattle. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Yeah, you're all over the map, pal.
Listen, I
understand. I know.
It's been crazy for me.
Okay.
So yeah, we went to Seattle where we lost 2 of 3, and then LA where we got swept.
And got stomped, pretty much.
Okay, so the first one we lost in extras on Monday, 7-6, and then, as Baseball Mark so eloquently put it, we got stomped. What did you see in the Dodgers series that stuck out to you, Baseball Mark?
Well, the Dodgers are a very competitive team, and we weren't able to get hits, score runs, or pitching has been bad as of late. So, and the Dodgers, who have a lot of superstars on their roster, with Shohei Ohtani, Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, is like that team can't be stopped.
Okay. What about you, Mark? Soccer Mark. What kind of stood out there in that series?
Coming from the Dodgers, leading up to that Marlins series, they had tough games against the Pirates, and then they had a really good series against the Cubs. They got blanked by the Pirates in one game. Then they beat them 9-2 after that. Then they went up to put up 27 runs in the last 2 games against us. So those bats really woke up for them, and that's what you expect from that team, specifically from the top of the lineup. Mookie Betts, Ohtani, Freeman, and then you got guys like Tom Edman, Teoscar Hernandez, Max Muncy, Will Smith, all those guys contributing. And when those guys are hitting and contributing the way they did against the Marlins in that series, it's going to be very tough to beat them. Because on top of that, they have some quality pitching. And the Marlins aren't the hottest hitting team. They aren't the best, contact hitting team, power hitting team. So if you get them in a circle or in a bad stretch or in a bad inning or innings, to say the least, you're gonna win that game. And that's what the Dodgers did. They jumped on us early, jumped on hard hit balls, mistake pitches, and they just killed us.
Okay, so we'll start with game 1 against the Dodgers. The Dodgers jumped out, if I'm not mistaken, to a 5-0 lead through 5. The Marlins battled back, tied the game in the 6th. But let's go with the first 5 innings. Edward Cabrera on the mound. Anything that stuck out to you, Baseball Mark?
He was able to get his pitches well in, get it out when needed, limit the runs, and help limit the Dodgers' strong lineup. But once he was out of the game, the bullpen struggled, and the Dodgers took advantage and scored, was able to win the game.
What about you, Soccer Mark?
Um, I think it was your typical Edward Cabrera kind of good start in a way. Well, he was credited for 5 earned, walked 3, struck out 2 only, 97 pitches, 57 strikes, 40 of them were balls. So he was working deep into counts for 5 innings. Um, and then hitters would just sit back and wait for their pitch and drive it. Um, he got on base, they took him out. So a lot of Edward Cabrera's, uh, struggles always are command and location. And if he doesn't have it in the first 2 innings, it's very hard for him to get it throughout the game. So at that point, it could be a short leash for him, especially uh, a team against a team like the Dodgers.
Right. So the thing that frustrates me the most is this. Edward Cabrera, 0-2 count on most guys. You blink, it's 3-2. That's how
Mhm.
you get 97 pitches through 4 innings.
Mm.
What do you think could be an issue to that is causing that inability to put hitters away, Baseball Mark?
I think when it gets to 0-2 the count, he's more likely looking to put a pitch for them to chase, for them other than to just hit. But his locations are a bit off, are a bit outside, and the hitters are noticing his location, so they wait patiently until they find the right pitch to hit. Either they take the hit or they get walked. It's a win-win for them.
So you think that Edward would be better served to be more aggressive in the strike zone?
I would think, like, if you're 0-2 the count, you have to be aggressive with your pitches. You can't let the hitter wait to be walked. You have to finish them, like strike them out, get the out, and end the inning, and go back to the dugout to help your team win the game.
What about you, Mr. Soccer Mark? Anything you see in it's been the same story for what, 4 or 5 seasons now,
Yeah,
where
he's a
Edward
sinker
comes in.
ball. He's a sinker ball pitcher. He loves a sinker. If it's if he's getting in the strike zone and high and inside on righties, it's good. But when it's leaked out over the plate or when his slider, his breaking stuff isn't the best on any count, pitchers can jump on it easily, and just drive the ball and produce runs. And that's his MO, and that's the scouting report on him, the past 6 years. So it's a very he's very you can tell what type of game you're gonna get from him, especially in the first inning. If he gets a 1, 2, 3 inning, he'll be able to work deep into the game. But any mistake, any long inning of 20 plus to 30 pitches, even he'll be done by the fifth.
Okay, so I'll give credit to the team. They scored 5 in the sixth. They scored their run in extras, and the Dodgers just came back and scored one off of Ronnie Henriquez in the 1 earned in the 10th to win it in extras. The next topic would be in this was, let me see, in Tuesday's game, the 15-2 loss. It was a sandy start. After a rough couple of starts, you hoped that he would kind of rectify the ship away from home, away from distractions, just kind of on the West Coast. And then I think he gave up 7, if I'm not mistaken. 7 and 2 and 2/3.
They jumped on him.
Anything that you noticed, anything that you're noticing at all in these sandy starts, Baseball Mark?
Sandy's not what he used to be when he won the Cy Young. He's had since coming off from Tommy John surgery, he hasn't been the same pitcher. I don't know if it's his mechanics or his delivery, but something's not working, and Sandy isn't himself. We don't know. I don't know why he's not pitching as he is usually is. Maybe the other teams have already know what he's going to pitch, so they figure him out already. That's just my guess, but it could be with the injury still.
So is it you think the book is out on him, or do you think it's the comeback from Tommy John?
I think it's probably the comeback from Tommy John.
Okay. What have you noticed, Soccer Mark?
Um, yeah, I think it's more of the Tommy John comeback than the book out. It's very hard to have a book out on a pitcher, um, especially of his quality. Sandy's very, very good. When he's got his stuff controlled and his sinkers working, he's got his changeup working. Um, I think the location is off. Missing a lot of spots, leaving pitches in hittable places, and good players just making good contact on it. And he had, I'll go back to that earlier in the season, that series against the Reds. Their catcher was extremely hot. He went 3 for 3 against Sandy, I believe, with a home run. So it's guys like that he's got to figure out how to work around and pitch to and get outs.
Yeah,
Because
with a
he
pitcher.
he gave up. You said he gave up seven hits and 2 strikeouts. It's not.
Yeah,
You granted you're going up against the Dodgers. That lineup is deadly any way you slice it, but it wasn't a good start at all for him.
no, and the thing I see the most is there's a hesitancy with his delivery, and I want to say it's very much akin to what an ACL is for your lower body, where you're back, you're healthy physically, but there's a mental hurdle that needs to be overcome for you to be free and easy um, with your delivery. I think that him being free and easy opens up late movement that hasn't been there. So that deceptiveness is not there, and he's getting hammered for it. Is there anything he can do about it? Probably not. Um,
You got to work through it. It's just a matter of just finding a groove.
yeah, I think it's a confidence issue with trusting your body. What do you think, Baseball Mark?
I think he just has to trust himself, trust his pitches, and have confidence in himself. I know that he's in a tough division in the NL East where there's a lot of heavy hitters, but you have to feel confident to get that you're gonna get the out and push through. Can't be feeling down and then having all these hitters gang up on you on hitting.
Okay, do you think that I know that Fortes got hurt and was out for a while? Um, in his Cy Young campaign, um, Jacob Stallings caught every one of his starts. Excuse me. Do you think? I mean, he was struggling even with Fortes, but do you think having Agustin Ramirez or Liam Hicks back there has an impact on Sandy and his pitches, Baseball Mark?
Well, Ramirez just recently got called up, so I don't think he has enough chemistry with Sandy yet to feel that confidence between the two of them. But maybe with Fortes, who has been there longer and has known Sandy for a bit, he has get know the type of pitches that Sandy throws and the locations that he's going to put them in.
Okay, so it's been an organizational shift to go from catchers calling the games to the games being called from the dugout in the minor leagues. Do you think that a decision of that magnitude impacts the ability of an Agustin Ramirez to come up and build that that feel with Sandy when that responsibility has been taken away from him in the minors? And we'll start with Soccer Mark.
Can you run that question again, but just
Yeah,
it for me
so
real quick? Put it in soccer terms.
put it in soccer terms.
No, I'm joking. I'm joking. Just run it back again. Just it for me.
So in baseball, you know they have the pitch com.
Yeah. Oh, like the familiarity with Nick Fortes catching Sandy rather than the other guys.
Right. So in the minors,
Mhm.
the catcher puts in the pitch
Yeah.
com,
Yeah.
and it goes to the pitcher.
Uh-huh.
The responsibility in the minors has been taken away from the catchers. Now someone in the dugout calls the pitches, and it gets
Okay.
relayed to both the catcher and the pitcher. So now the catcher doesn't have to worry about, okay, this guy, you've thrown 2 fastballs away. Do you bury him sinker in, or do you go change up outside and just stay outside? That aspect of the thinking has gone away, has been taken away from catchers. Do you think that's a mistake, especially in a situation where Agustin Ramirez gets called up and now you're catching what is a potential Cy Young pitcher and you have no
it's
idea how to
a
get a
Cy
feel
Young
for the
winner.
game?
No, yeah,
Right.
I agree. It's getting called up and to catch Sandy against a team like the Dodgers is not easy by any means. And I think that just the pitching coach Sandy Agustin got to work, especially all together that game, to really find the combination of pitching to put guys away in scenarios in which you need a certain, you're in a 0-2 count, runner on first and second, 1 out. You have to throw a double play ball at that point. When to throw it, who to throw it to. So there is a little bit more of responsibility in Agustin Ramirez, and he's not familiar with it because of what you just said in the minors. And it could have some effect in what Sandy wants to throw and what the pitching coach wants to throw, what Agustin wants to throw. So it's all a sense of, can they get on the same page?
Okay. What do you think, Baseball Mark?
I think they tried to develop these catchers in the minors with this the system that now is in Major League Baseball, that the coaches determine the pitches. They try to adapt that same development mentality when they get to the majors. I just think that Sandy and Ramirez haven't yet fully connected just yet. They may connect sometime in mid-season, hopefully. And hopefully by then the Marlins could be in a better position and hopefully get some wins.
Right. So the Marlins, like Baseball Mark had stated previously, stomped by the Dodgers, get swept, put up a fight in the first 2 games, and in the first game, 7-6, then get absolutely killed in the second one, put up a bit more of a fight in the third one, and then they come home, lose 2 out of 3 to the A's, all high-scoring games, almost look like football scores. But let me see here. 6-1, 9-6, and 3-2. For a team that was supposed to be pitching heavy, with the likes of Sandy coming back, Yuri coming back, Weathers getting a full season. You had Edward Cabrera, you had Max Meyer, you have the signing of Cal Quantrill, all these pitching prospects, and then what was supposed to be a minor league-esque, just pitiful offense. And hitting wise, the Marlins have been more than respectable. What are your thoughts on that, on the contrast coming into the season in terms of offense and pitching, and what has actually transpired during the season?
Who wants to go first? Me?
Baseball Mark, yeah. Sorry about that. I forgot.
My bad.
I mean, with a very talented rotation with Sandy, Yuri, Max Meyer.
Well, Yuri's not back yet.
Well, once he's back, that's before the season. I mean, when you have a rotation like that, you need to have some good offensive players, but like we've we expected more. We need hitting, like these prospects that we brought up are expected to play well and play good, but if you're not if we're not getting any good players to help our offensive win, then and then we've dealt with injuries and can't win these games. But these hitters that we had in our roster have proven from some time at the beginning of the season they can hit, they can score from time to time, but against these heavy hitting teams, they can't perform as good.
What about you, Sucker Mark? Your thoughts?
What when I looked at the roster or our lineup, it was really poor, and I guess it's never fair to the players because they were brought in and with no real sense of competitiveness from the organization, and they're just asked to perform, and rightfully so. These guys are fringe starters on any other team, to be honest. And like you said, they've held their own respectably. Um, this
I
team could have
believe they
easily
have, yeah.
been this team could have been easily a single digit win team up until now. Um, and the pitching's tough. Kyle Quantrill, Connor Gillespie, who got sent down. Those guys are just you were hoped to be inning eaters. Your guys that you really were banking on. Granted, Ryan Weathers was out. Will be out with Tommy John. But Max Meyer, fine up
He's
until
been
now.
pitching well.
Sandy Alcantara hasn't been great. Edward Cabrera, we know what we were going to get with him. Valentin Belloso, is it Valentin or Vicente?
I've been a Valentin Belloso fan since last year. He's a contact guy. He's not a flamethrower, but he gets outs.
Okay. So, and then you kind of built this from your rotation into your lineup. You've built, you're hoping on Yuri coming back. You're hoping Weathers comes back. You're hoping one of these guys in the minors comes back. Noble Meyer, a draft pick from 2 years ago, maybe he can make a jump into the league. But then outside of the rotation, you get the bullpen, and the bullpen's not very good. There's not a lot of arms that I even recognize on there, and arms that are just, not good and are susceptible to giving up the long ball at the wrong time. Look at, you guys will cover the games against the Dodgers here next week, but I'll preview it real quick. Today's game, he also was pitching well. I'm gonna do it because why not? Pitch well, and then they bring in their bullpen guy, and he gives up a couple runs there, and the game's gone. But you guys can dive into that next week.
Yeah,
it's a very tough situation for the Marlins, for the fans, I guess, because I'm not hating on the players. They've done, it's frustrating when you got Xavier Edwards hitting almost 350 to start the season, and he's got this slump, and you're hoping he's one of your pillars to build the team around. And then you got Griffin Cornett, who goes out for an injury for the rest of the year. Then you have, Connor Norby, who got traded to the Twins.
from the Twins? No, I
To
think
the Twins. He got traded he got released and to the Twins.
Norby.
I
Great
believe he's on
question.
the Twins now. It's not Grant Polly, I know that.
No, are you talking about Jonah Bride?
There you go, that guy. Wow, mixed up
Okay.
names. Jonah Bride, sorry. I don't know why I said Connor Norby. And now you have 3 catchers on the roster. So it's just, I guess it's staying afloat for this team, hoping your guys can get 6 innings, put up some runs, and play solid defense. Because our outfield played solid defense up until now, I feel like.
So
defense,
baseball
excuse
mark.
me.
Yeah, baseball mark. What are your thoughts on our pitchers getting deep into games? What are your thoughts of how the organization has managed that?
I just like what Mark mentioned about today's game. Bayoso was pitching a phenomenal game, and he only gave up one hit, and then they decided to pull him out after 5.1 innings. To not face Shohei Ohtani for the third time. They showed a graphic that the first two times that he faces hitters, the batting average is low, but once they get to the third time, it rises up. So they were going over after that. So the organization thought it would be best for them to take out Bayeso to bring in a reliever, which for the last two games they've done that same mistake twice, and they've been scored on the very next on that same inning. So
Do you think that there's anything the organization needs to change in terms of how they're managing their pitching?
if the pitcher's playing great, pitching great, has no issues, let him in until he gives you the sign that he wants out of the game. But if he's pitching well, the defense is going well, just leave him in until otherwise. Because
What are your thoughts, Mark, Soccer Mark, on how, so far at least, the organization has been managing pitching?
Yeah, it's extremely tough. Like I said, you got inning eaters in that starting rotation, and you're just hoping that they can get you 6 and your bullpen can throw 3. On a good day, maybe they get you 7, depending on who it is. But right now, it's looking like 5 is their max, 5 to 6, and then letting the bullpen go 4 to 3.5 innings. Is it a recipe for disaster? It could be. Given your bullpen isn't the best and you're using a lot of arms daily. It's not it's not what they wanted. It's not what their vision is for the future of the rotation, but it's what they have to work with now, and they're gonna have to make do with what we got.
So I think that with the regime change that happened from last year to this year, or the year before, whenever Kim Eng got ousted and Peter Bendix came in, and it's no secret, I don't like Peter Bendix. I don't like his the way his vision for the organization. Um, there's this obsession with analytics where you don't want pitchers facing lineups a third time around. Baseball Mark stated that batting averages do rise the third time through the order, but at some point you're a major league pitcher. You have to work through these issues. You have to work through these major league hitters a third time. If you ever want to expect to win a World Series, if you ever want to have success in the playoffs, that's a skill you're going to have as a major league pitcher. This obsession with these pitchers not facing hitters the third time, I think has been very, very detrimental to not only the development of pitchers, but to the detriment of our bullpen. You cannot expect the bullpen to get 9 to 12 outs every single day. It's just not sustainable. It's not feasible through a 162 game season. Baseball Mark, what are your thoughts on just the amount of usage the bullpen has gotten so far?
I mean, they've been using the bullpen as of late a lot due to these high scoring runs that's being scored on them by the Dodgers and also by the Athletics from the past week. So they've been using their bullpen a lot, and it's got going from pitching the next day to the next. They're getting very tired probably and giving up a lot of runs, and they can't fully finish the game. Like, they have to rely on these other arms to help them finish the game.
No, yeah, I agree with you 100%. But enough doom and gloom. we did get some positives. You know, this week, Kyle Stowers was named Player of the Week. As you can see there, the numbers are
Yeah.
super gaudy numbers. I mean, 421, 4 home runs, 10 RBIs. Absolutely amazing. And then to put the cherry on top, he had walk-off grand slam against the Dodgers, which we have here.
No.
That's
A's.
Against the A's. I
Stowers
apologize.
stay red hot.
On City Connect debut.
Swinging a ball lifted in the air, deep left center field. Stowers, no way! A walk-off grand slam.
You control this.
Can Stowers stay
Okay, so couple of
red
things.
hot?
Hold on.
Swing.
Outside fastball, 102, 100 miles per
Yeah.
hour off Mason,
Oh.
off Miller Moss.
Yes.
Wow. Impressive.
No, wait. Miller Moss is the quarterback for USC.
Mason Miller. Miller. What is this guy's name?
Mason Miller.
There you go. Mason Miller. This guy.
Yeah, Miller Moss
Actually,
beat LSU
thank
in the shit.
Can Stowers stay red hot?
Taco.
Swinging a
High
ball lifted in the air, deep left center field. Stowers.
Yeah, no. He got everything. He got all of it.
Walk-off grand slam.
He got all of it.
But
Stowers is hitting 303, which is, I mean, a complete 180 from everything he was doing last season. What are your thoughts, Baseball Mark, on Kyle Stowers' season so far?
I think he has been having a good season. I think he's been developing as a good player, as a good hitter, as you can see by the video of his walk-off grand slam. I think he has proven that he can perform good at the highest level and give this team a chance to win.
Okay,
And I believe that he also hit a solo homer in that game too.
I will look that up. Mark, soccer Mark, what are your thoughts on that?
A guy we brought in last year for the Trevor Rogers trade, really stepping up and taking hold of this, of his team in the batting aspect and, clutch hitting, timely hits, getting on base, driving in runs, pretty much doing it all for this team right now offensively. And it's a bright spot on a team that, really doesn't have a lot right now going for them. A couple losses in a row, 2 series drop. So credit to him. He's playing out of his mind, and hitting 421 with those numbers is extremely, extremely good.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing with Kyle Stowers this year compared to last year is he's not getting beat on the high fastball. He's taking it if he can't get to it, and if he can get to it, he's punishing it. The ability to hit off of lefties is also big this season, as he's now able to stay in the lineup on an everyday basis. And just his patience and vision at the plate, aside from that high fastball, has just put him in position where he's crushing major league pitching that he sees when he's in good counts. And I think that credit has to go to the pitching coach, and there's 2 of them, I forget their names, but to the 2 guys that are in charge of our offense, because they've turned what looks like chicken bleep into chicken salad. Yeah, 100%. 100%. And like I said, I don't think offense is the issue with this team right now. I just think getting any sort of reliable pitching is what's holding this team back. But we'll move on. Any final thoughts, Baseball Mark, on what you saw that the 2 series against the Dodgers in LA and the A's here in Miami?
It's just it's going to be a rough season for the Marlins. They they need to step up. They need to start hitting the ball and getting some quality starts from their pitching. If not, it's going to be a rough season, and we have to do better.
Okay, we're 14-22 as of today. Do
But
they lose 100 games?
100 games, there could be a possibility of that, but there are other teams that have this season have played worse than what the Marlins have been playing. So
Okay. Soccer Mark, your thoughts on the two series and the season as a whole so far?
I mean, it's gonna be rough patches at points. We kind of knew this with the team going into the season, with the moves made, moves not made, the attitude in the front office, from the GM, from the owner. I mean, you're just looking for competitive baseball whenever you can find it. And against the top teams, they're going to struggle at times. And more often than not, they'll lose that series 2-1, 3-0. It's just pick and choose your battles, having consistency in the rotation, getting the bat to the ball, and if you got to win small ball, you got to win small ball.
Okay. I think that thus far, first of all, I don't think they lose 100 games. That's number one.
Okay.
I think they'll lose 90. I don't think they'll lose 100. The pitching has been a disappointment, and their offense has been a bright spot. Granted, we have some injuries with Griffin Conine, on the shelf, and a few guys who you expect to have decent seasons have struggled with the likes of Otto Lopez, and even Xavier Edwards to a little bit of a degree. I wasn't expecting anything from Matt Burvis. He's all or nothing. Wagaman has been. The team believes in Wagaman. I think he's pedestrian. Ramirez has been a huge bright spot. Maybe transitioning him to first base with Fortes behind the plate might be the way to go there. But I think that, as Soccer Mark put it, what we're looking for right now is watchable baseball, competitive baseball. You're not looking for this team to go on a 10-game win streak and compete for any sort of any wild card spot, but competitiveness, fight, grit is kind of what we're looking for. Final words, Mark? Baseball, Mark?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Soccer, Mark?
We got a series against who's coming up for us? We start tomorrow.
The White Sox on Friday.
The battle of the.
That's a favorable matchup. I would put a favorable matchup.
Looking for a get back series in a way. Possibly win 2 out of 3, maybe even a sweep. Looking for just competitive baseball at this point. Putting the bat to the ball. Running the bases hard. Aggressive base running. Quality defense, and just some sort of semblance of quality pitching and sustainable bullpen showing. So that's what we'll look forward to, because after that it gets a little tougher. We get the Cubs, and they're a pretty good team. So see if we can bounce back with this White Sox, and the White Sox series.
All right. Well, for everyone here at Kendall Sports Network and the Fish Tank Pod, thank you guys for tuning in. The episode will get published tomorrow at 8 p.m. For everyone here at Kendall Sports Network, thank you for watching, and we'll see you guys next week. Great one, guys.